You know, you think that all of this started and the anger grew as soon as we got word that this Chinese balloon was over some very precious and important airspace in Montana. And what it was clicking away and surveilling was anyone's guess. But in an unusual move here, the state's Democratic senator put out a statement that blasted what China was doing, saying, and I quote here from Senator Jon Tester, "The provocation is completely unacceptable, and I am in close contact with the Department of Defense and intelligence officials. We're still waiting for real answers on how this happened and what steps the administration took to protect our country, and I will hold everyone accountable until I get them. I will always defend Montana and our national security from hostile adversaries like China." And he didn't get any warmer and fuzzier about it since. He has been a noted critic of how this was all handled, a bipartisan rant that added great currency and obviously concern at the White House. The senator joins me now. Senator Tester, good to have you.
It's great to be with you, Neil. Thank you.
You were rightly raising your concerns about how far this went, and it was a concern more about China and the gall that they showed in doing what they did. And now, if you think about it, Senator, that prescient warning seemed well placed because China is still acting pretty weirdly, criticizing our downing of that balloon, high-level officials refusing to meet with their U.S. counterparts, and threatening return sanctions against our sanctions against some of their technology companies. What do you think?
Well, what I think is what the Chinese Communist Party did was completely unacceptable. And the truth is that I've said this before, and you know this, Neil, I'd have shot the thing down over the Aleutians. But there was an assessment made, and it ended up getting shot down off the coast of South Carolina. But the bottom line is this: they invaded our airspace. Our airspace they invaded. That is unacceptable. And the fact is, they say it's a weather balloon is a bunch of baloney. And the bottom line is that, you know, we have ICBMs in Montana. They've been a great deterrent since the early 60s. We've got Malmstrom Air Force Base. And if you take a look at the path that balloon took, there was nothing accidental about it. They were gathering information. I don't know how much they got at this moment in time, but I'm sure we'll find out as time moves on. But the fact is, it was inappropriate behavior, and we need to respond in a way that shows them we don't stand for inappropriate behavior.
You know, Senator, if you can take me back to that first time you discovered that this was even happening, did anyone give you a heads up? Did any, military or administration type say, Senator, you should be aware that there's this balloon traversing its way over Montana skies?
Yeah, look, I got a heads up, Neil, but I'm going to tell you it could have been a lot earlier, and I wished it would have been a lot earlier. They should even got a hold of me before it got into the airspace of Montana, in my opinion. This is a serious, serious situation. And like I said, we have incredible deterrent assets in Montana and the ICBMs, and we need to be let know. I'm also chairman of the Defense Subcommittee that funds our military, which is another way, by the way, we're going to get to the bottom of what happened and make sure we have a plan going forward to detect and then find out what potential problems this balloon may cause, and then a way to bring it down that doesn't cost us a $400,000 missile.
You know, we're already recalibrating how we monitor the skies, I guess, Senator, and that they hadn't been calibrated enough to recognize devices like these that can fly, I guess, undetected. But if it gets to a pattern where we just shoot them down, do you worry that it could escalate? I mean, we've seen in the past when people get a little trigger happy with stuff. I mean, commercial jetliners have been brought down. Do you worry that this gets crazy?
Look, absolutely, but I have faith in our military to think before you pull the trigger. They're gonna have an assessment. They probably already do. We just need to find out what it is, and then Senator Collins and myself will make sure that assessment of protocol will be funded moving forward. But there is no doubt about this, Neil. You absolutely have to think before you shoot. Otherwise, there will be collateral damages that you didn't plan for.
Do you think the president should address the nation on this? I know, everyone up to his level has, but he has not. And if you think about it, these are 4 objects that have been shot out of the sky, something we haven't seen since back to Pearl Harbor, and back at that time, Hawaii wasn't even a state. It is a little discerning, isn't it?
Yeah, well, look, I haven't talked to the president about this, but the bottom line is I don't know what his plans are. Maybe he's waiting for additional information to come off the balloon that is not totally recovered, but they're well on their way to recovering off the coast of South Carolina, and then make a presentation. But I do agree with you, at some point in time, I think the president needs to talk to the American people. There's a lot of people that are very concerned. Freedom of privacy is a big issue in Montana and across this country. People are concerned. I think it would help allay the concerns.
I jumped on you there. Let me ask you a little bit about the environment in which we're in right now, because as I said, China and our country, we could be coming to economic blows, and this back and forth where we just don't do business with one another. Do you worry that this turns into economic war?
Absolutely. I think there's two really big concerns out there. These are the two biggest economies on Earth. We need to work together economically because I think it's important. And then the two biggest militaries on Earth, and we need to work together and communicate, particularly amongst our leadership, so that mistakes, if they happen, people know their mistakes and not escalation. So look, China screwed up. We need to hold them accountable, but that doesn't mean you quit talking. You continue to talk. You continue to exchange information, and where appropriate, you continue to trade.
The administration has apparently, Senator, ruled out that any of the stuff that we've encountered are UFOs, particularly these other three objects. But they haven't really given any indication what they are. They just quickly seized on the notion they're not extraterrestrial. Do you think that it has been done to calm us down, or that is indeed really the case?
I don't know. What I've been told is that the recovery of those three balloons that were shot down last weekend is in progress, and that they haven't been recovered to the point where identification could be made. Now, that may have changed in the last 24 hours, Neil, but that was my last update. And so do I think they're extraterrestrial? No, I don't think they are, but I don't know how you could say that unequivocally.
So this notion that UFOs, that kind of thing, it goes back to the days of Harry Reid studying this, and a lot of Air Force and other footage that you are familiar with. You don't think that is a case here?
I don't. I think they were balloons. They could have come from China. They could have come from somebody else. They could have come from somebody domestically that put them up. I don't think we know enough yet where we can make a conclusion. And might I say this too, Neil, that I think it's very dangerous if we start supposing things before we know the facts. I think what the American people want is they want the facts, and I think that's what's really important. We need to get the facts, and we need to tell the folks about what has transpired here.
So my pursuing this X-Files thing is probably not a wise strategy right now. All right.
It's what you want, Neil.
There we go. It's a Fox show, by the way, Senator. It was very good. Very good seeing you. Senator Jon Tester of Montana, just trying to get to the bottom of this, and so far a lot more questions than any answers. We'll keep pursuing that.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.